Hi guys, so in this video you're going to learn about using else and else if statements and also logical truth tables, so how to use and or. Okay, so in this question we have a list of names and their age and their occupation, and we need to be able to determine how they enter into a swimming pool, whether they get a discount, a double discount, or whether they enter for free or no discount. So okay, so we actually need to plan out how to write this out. Okay, so normally you would get pen and paper and write some pseudocode. So pseudocode is just code written on pen and paper, just the logic of code. Then you can, once you solve the logic, you can turn it into computer code easy. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go through this, probably make some mistakes, and try to do it in one go. But whenever you have something big, now, I mean, if you're designing a system, you're gonna design something much bigger that might take tens of hours to do. You wanna be using pseudocode. Okay, so in here, if a person is either over 65 or under 18 years old, they will all be a student, then they will get discount. If they're under 6, then they will receive free entry. And if they're a student and they're under 18, then they will receive double discount. Otherwise, they pay full fees. Okay, so let's start a function. Function discount. Let's call it discount, and we need two variables: their age and their occupation. Okay, so age as integer and oc as string. Okay, and this is going to return a string, so we're just going to say whether they get discount or full fee or whatever. So we're going to return it as a string. Okay, so the first thing you want to check, now let's just go through this list first. Okay, it's not the right way to do it, but let's just go through and do each one. Okay, so let's start off with the first one. They're either greater than 45 or sorry, older than 65 or younger than 18 or be a student. So the first thing we need to do is if age is greater than 65, okay, now it's not greater than equal to, notice that, it's just greater than. Now we also want to check whether they are less than 18. So what we do is we just type in or. Now the difference between or and is basically one of them has to be true and the whole thing will be true. If we type in and, then both of them have to be true for the whole thing to be true. Now notice here, if we actually typed in n here, then this will never be true because we can't have any number that's actually greater than 65 and less than 18. That just doesn't exist, right? So that's just something to notice. So here we're going to use or, and then we're going to do another or to check whether they're student. So oc equals to student. Make sure you have all the casings correct. So yeah, that's good. And then discount. So I'll just put an end if. So we're gonna discount is equal to discount. Okay, so they get a discount. Okay, so now that's the first thing we're gonna incorporate, and let's just try it out. Equals to discount. The first thing we do is age, then occupation. So now it's not returning anything because that's not true. So all of these people get discounts. Okay, now let's say if they're not in this category, we're gonna return full fees. Okay, this is not entirely true to our question, but we'll just do that now so that it fills every single cell with something at least. Okay, oh, not full time, full fees. Okay, So so if they're not in this first category, then they'll be paying full fees. Now let's add a second category into it. So if they're under a 6, they will receive free entry. Now notice, to do that, we should really do it before our if statements, because if we do it after, it will check this, and that's true, then it won't check afterwards. I mean, I guess we can add another if statement after here. So we can say if age is less than 6, then discount equals to 3. So what this will do is it will actually override what we had before. So even though they're less than 6 in this category and they get a discount, once the code runs to here, because the code runs from top to down, it will override the fact that they got a discount and change it to free. Oops. So here, I mean, that works perfectly, but it's inefficient because even though they're less than 6, we've checked whether they're in this category as well. So what we can actually do is we can write it at the top. We can say if age is less than 6, then discount equals to free. And then we can say else if. Okay, so else if just means it's another check, it's one word. So if they're not less than 6, then it will check for another thing before it goes to the else. Okay, now this is a lot more efficient because if they are less than 6, then it won't check for this statement. Okay, so you want to be doing it like this, using ifs and else ifs. So okay, and then the last thing we want to incorporate is if they are a student under 18, and so if they're a student and they're also under 18, then they will receive double discounts. Okay, so where do we want to put that? Now this is a little bit more difficult. So if you don't know, of course you can just type in another if statement. So if age is less than less than 18, and we're gonna do and here because they have to be both less than 18 and a student for them to receive a double discount. So I didn't put an equal here. Discount equals double discount. Now, there's only one person. Okay, so I think I've made a mistake. So here I've written greater than 18. Okay, that's fine. You'll come to make mistakes. Make sure you check your program. This is called testing. Okay, so Alan is the only student that's getting a double discount, which is fine. So you can do it like this, which is fine, but we don't want to do it like this. What we want to do is we want to actually incorporate this somewhere in here. Okay, but we can't actually use else if because there's some mutually exclusive parts to with this and this bit. Okay, so what we can do is we can incorporate it within here. Okay, so we can write another if statement inside the else statement. So if age less than 18 and occ equals student. The reason for this is because these two are mutually, non-mutually exclusive. So we can just do it within here. So if this is true, then it will run this and see if it's true. So we're going to do else, and discount equals to double discount. And then end another if. So this is called a nested if. It's just the if statement within another if statement. So notice that the second the nested if statement will only run if this is true. If that's not true, then this statement will not be run. Okay, so let's try that out. Perfect. Okay, so it's as what we expected, right? So nothing's changed because what we had is the same as before. Okay, so so yeah, in this lesson you learn how to use else if, you learn how to use and you learn how to use or, and you learn how to do nested if statements.